Now, when I made my video about installing the extractor into the 1911 build that I'm doing right now, what I had to do, and this is that extractor, I had to file this pad down a little bit so that the extractor hook could move inward along the breech face far enough to apply a little bit of pressure onto the case rim. And someone left a comment saying that they thought maybe that was a 45 ACP extractor that I was using, but this is a 10mm build, and they were exactly right. So this is the extractor that I used in that build, and it was just one I had lying around, and so it was for 45 because 45 is the only caliber I've used in any 1911 build. But I bought 3 more just to see what the difference was, and I thought maybe you guys would be interested to see as well. Now, they're all Ed Brown, so there should be that consistency. And the most obvious difference to me is that this is an 80 series extractor. It's got that cutout right there where the plunger tube would go for the firing pin safety. Neither of these has that. The reason I got this one as a Series 80 was because that's all that's available. It does not seem like the 10mm extractor comes in a Series 70. Now this is 9mm, this is 10mm, this is 45. 9mm can also be used for 38 Super, same case size, rim size. 40 S&W and 10mm are also the same rim size. They're the same case except the 10mm is longer. And this is just 45 ACP. So, what is the difference between these? Forget the fact that this is Series 80. I don't think we care about that too much. The difference, and I did a little research, and according to one certain individual, the primary difference, or one of the main differences, is the distance between the breech face and the hook. For 9mm, it should be 60 thousandths. For 10mm, it should be 65 thousandths, so another 5 thousandths. For 45, it should be 75 thousandths, so another 10 thousandths on top of this, 15 more than this. And the reason, I guess, is that the rims are different thicknesses. And I've got some cartridges lying around here. So for 9mm, looks like the rim thickness is around 44.5 thousandths, let's say. 10mm, 51.5 thousandths. 45, actually 45.5 thousandths. So anyway, at least the 9mm is thinner. And if we measure this distance, that's 33.1 or 331 thousandths. 336 thousandths, that's a little more, and also about 336 thousandths. So these two appear to be the same, and actually the rim thickness that I just measured, those are about the same, and this is less for both of those measurements. So it's a little strange that the measurements I got from the guy on the internet said that this is 5 thousandths more than this, but this is another 10 on top of this. That does not seem consistent with the rim thicknesses I was just measuring, although, granted, I may not have measured those perfectly. Another comment the guy said is that the hook distances from the breech face actually tend, at least on the 45, to be excessive. And I'm not going to bother trying to reduce that. That seems like that would be quite tricky to me. Alright, the other difference, this does not have the pad, the 9mm, on the inside here. So it's going to allow that hook to move inward across the breech face farther to grab that smaller rim. This one does have a pad This one does too. And actually this one has a small pad up here, which would allow it to move over further. This one has a larger pad. That one's pretty good size too. Let's see the pad thickness here. 129 thousandths. Oh, that's still 129. 140. So this does have a bigger pad there, but remember, I did have to file this pad down to get it to have a little bit of, apply a little pressure to the rim. So that makes sense that I would need to take a little off of this one to bring it down to closer to what this is. Again, this one does have a pad in the middle, or this one does not have one in the middle, so that 9mm extractor can go over even farther, more easily. This one and this one both have the pad in the middle, which would make it a little stiffer for it to go across the breech face. 173, 200. I don't know if that is due to just this inner one being thicker or to both of them contributing. In any event, that middle one I think probably doesn't matter as much, because you can bend this extractor at that center point to get the hook to move further across the breech face. So anyway, thinner pad here, and also this hook is closer to the breech face. These seem actually more similar to me. I could put this one in the gun, but I did already alter this one, and I think it'll work well. And I also smoothed over that bottom and rounded over that hook a little bit. So I think for the moment I'll just stick with this one and just keep these three for a possible future build. So the difference between extractors, 9mm, 10mm, 45, and there you have it.